What's up, guys? Today is day 136 on our journey to 2000, and we're back. What do I mean by that? I got my mojo a little bit back. I played a bunch of games yesterday. I played 13 or 14 rapid games. We're going to go over each one, not in full depth, because that would take forever. But the games were crazy. Some of the games I won, some I lost, some were really close, some were crazy. But my mentality and the way I was playing was much better, and I think I took more time to think. I think the biggest issue, for those that don't know, I've been on like a 10 or 11 losing streak. I lost 10, 11 games in a row in Rapid. I was 1797 at my peak, closing in on 1800. Then I went on vacation, kind of vacation. I was still tutoring. I tutor chess. Check out the link in the description if you're much lower rated. But I tutored chess over there and the time zone, and I was with my girlfriend in Finland. That's where I was. And I was playing chess still, but my laptop sucked. So uploading a video took like 5 hours, which meant the longer the video was, the longer it took to upload. And it was just terrible. So I think subconsciously I just started playing a little faster while I was there, maybe. And maybe I should look over it, but that's probably why I ended up losing a lot of games. Anyway, let's get straight into reviewing the games we played, and then we'll play a game as well. Because I kind of realized that I'm not spending enough time, and I got a comment from one of you guys that I should play, you know, like a 40-minute game or something. I was like, okay, let me not go that far. Let me play a 15-minute game, see how it is. I haven't done that in a while. So I play the 15-minute game. Again, as black, I'm starting to play the Pirc Defense. And here I should just trust the Pirc Defense and go into this, or try to attack on the other side. I think these are the ideas that I've understood from watching some YouTube videos about a week ago. And here, since f4 is such a forceful move, I have to think of a way to counter it. Apparently, the best response is to go e5. If takes, I suppose the reasoning is that there's a lot of pressure going on over here, and I think in a lot of lines the knight actually goes to d7, and now he has these doubled pawns even though he's up a pawn, and I could probably just continue. Let's say he just develops a knight or something. I could probably just do this and then castle. We could castle on the same side here, or opposite side castling. I don't know. The Pirc so far is a very interesting defense opening. Anyway, I go into the position like this, and I spend some time thinking, but my opponent spends a lot of time thinking. And here I think I'm really clever because I'm putting a lot of pressure into the position. At some point, I'll bring the queen over when the knight's gone. But what I don't realize is that my bishop actually becomes trapped, because this knight move is really nice. And I had to kind of get rid of the bishop, attacking the queen, and kind of get rid of my attack here. That's it. My attack is gone. I had to accept the fact that the attack is gone, and I'm in a worse position because, I mean, even though he hasn't castled and I haven't, he has more developed pieces and so on. So here I should have taken stock, but I was kind of screwed here. There was nothing to do. I'm just going to lose my bishop. Computer says this. After this, I have h4, but I don't really see the idea here. I mean, yeah, my queen could potentially take this pawn later, but like aside from that, what else do I have here? So this was sad. The second I did this knight move, I was like, oh my god, my bishop is trapped. And so I started to play a little faster, trying to play on the time, but it's a 15-minute game with 10-second interval. So after playing a little fast and making another mistake or two and trying to create some sort of like defense here, I was feeling really happy about this position. And my opponent had like almost no time on the clock. So I just wanted to push. And I think I could have possibly won, maybe. He was scared to sacrifice pieces for some reason. He missed this idea, which I was surprised. And, well, I mean, he had no time. And I eventually just get checkmated. I mean, I don't know why he spends all this time making a queen. Is he trying to double check, like, that he checkmates me? I don't know. But that kind of felt bad. So I go back to 10-minute games. I'm like, you know what? I can just spend more time thinking. And, you know, I mean, we're 8 moves into the game, and you could see I didn't spend too much time thinking. But it's like this balance. I feel like before, when I was climbing the rating ladder or whatever, I had a lot of games where I played the first 10 or so moves pretty quickly, and then I thought. So, yeah, I actually I was playing pretty fast. Maybe the idea I had in my head is that I had to slow it down, but maybe I ended up playing really fast. Oh, who knows? Who knows? But I think the main point here is I ended up playing a lot more games. I'm like, I'm gonna keep playing games. And I played 13, 14 games, you know, to just push myself out of this bad luck streak. Okay, so I do this. This pawn's a little weak, and this weakens my king, and apparently was unnecessary. Putting kind of more stock into this side of the board was apparently needed, and we trade, and here I'm just down a pawn. But I get really lucky, and my opponent doesn't take my bishop. For whatever reason, he didn't like this. Maybe he was scared of something like this, which it's actually interesting, but like I would give up a bishop to attack this with a discovered attack. So he doesn't take, allowing my knight to get to safety, and after that I was like, I just have to be careful. I blunder my rook, so apparently, you know, I'm still out of it in this game. Blunder the rook, but then I'm like, okay, at least I have this attack on the bishops. I win one of them, my bishop defends, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna win this game. And he resigns. This is the first game I win after a 12 or 13 loss streak. And I was like, ugh, I didn't really play well, but finally, I won. I'm back. I was below 1600 after this game. I was a 1592 rated player, which is, again, fine, but like I wasn't the 1500s like a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know. I'm moving. I felt like I was moving fast, progressing nicely towards 1800, and then kind of everything fell apart. Okay. The next game we go into the copycat variation of the Vienna. Now, typically this is a response to kind of put pressure here. And I think we do get a game of the copycat, which turns out like a really beautiful. And the point here is the knight has this fork idea, is attacking the queen, and the king doesn't castle, but is really, really safe here. And there's a bunch of ideas here. The king comes to defend, knight comes to attack the queen, and there's a bunch of different things that can happen, but it's an interesting position. Anyway, he pushes this pawn forward, which I know was a mistake because I never see anyone do that. So I just moved the queen back, putting some pressure on this pawn if need be later to win the rook, and just keeping my eye over here. I considered moving the queen on this vertical, but I didn't. And then I do this knight move because I feel like it's a popular move, and I move my king to the side. So I'm making all these moves that you would make if they played the copycat in return, but my opponent didn't. And I'm connecting everything, and I'm just losing here. I'm losing here, I guess, because my queen might be trapped. Yeah, my queen is trapped. Neither one of us saw this. Queen is still trapped. And here I get lucky. This is just a free piece, which both of us completely miss. I block it, and we start trading everything. So here I'm still playing really, really badly. And here I thought I was clever. I saw this kind of attack a few moves ago, like a potential attack. And I thought, oh, if I take with the rook, maybe it's a little tricky. But I could just take with the bishop and go back. Take with the bishop, bring my king up, my rooks are connected, which is kind of what I do. I connect my rooks. But the problem here is my bishop is now disconnected from my queen, and I have no way of protecting it. Computer says counterattack. Let's say he takes back. Then I have b4 cutting through this. And the idea, I suppose, here is that let's say he does, you know, come here to try to put more pressure on the bishop. I can take, he can take, and I can go c6. This in-between move attacking the queen. And you might say, what if he just protects or something? Now I have the queen and rook staring at it because of that pawn move. I could take, and this is just winning. Now, that's pretty complicated. I'm not going to go crazy that I missed that. Instead, we go for all these trades. I put my king on the side there. I start playing a little faster. And this is looking bad. For some reason, he trades there, and I'm like, oh, I actually have a chance here. But there's no way to really promote this pawn. And I just resign, because there's nothing I could do. These will always be connected to each other. He's going to take my last chance of kind of coming back in the position. Maybe I should have played it onward, but I didn't. So I lose that game. I go into another Pirc Defense, trying to put pressure on the opposite side. And I just completely... Oh, no. Here, I purposefully blunder my knight. It's a pretty even position. But I purposefully do this to get my knight in, and it just, I know I'm going to win this rook. And that's what ends up happening. And computer says it's totally bad, but the material is pretty equal, and I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. I'm closing the queen's diagonal. The problem is, this bishop is a pain in the ass, and it's actually super hard to get rid of. And we could see just like a few moves later, I spent a lot of time thinking, and it's impossible to break through, and then I resign here because mate is coming. I saw this as mate. Apparently, okay, after taking, there's other stuff, but I'm like, I don't want to go through this. This looks horrific. Maybe I should have. So I lose 2 games in a row. Then my opponent goes for Polish opening, which looks like stuff on this side of the board. I just do my thing, my own thing, kind of ignoring, trying to break through the position, trying to kind of create blocking the stuff over here. And here I kind of mess up, but I thought it was okay. I just didn't know what to do in this position. The computer says to take the knight. The pawn kind of was there, but I didn't do that. And instead I'm like, oh, I'll have this attack on the queen. And actually I played pretty cleverly here. And all my moves were okay. What I missed here was it's hard to make to move a pawn twice. Over here I was thinking, should I go here or here? I'm not sure. And I thought, oh, this is just closer, so maybe it's better. Here, the whole idea was just, and I didn't see it, was just to push the pawn again. And now the game is even. Like, there's so much pressure on my king, but I thought it was fine because the bishops are doing an amazing job. I could start piling pressure on the opposite side, and I thought I was safe. And I think I was kind of right. I just messed up with this king move. But to be honest, like, all of these mistakes in these games that you're seeing now, they're much more interesting mistakes than the mistakes I was making previously, or a lot of them. They're not just, I just blunder. So if you watch like a video from yesterday or the day before, a lot of these past few, like week or two, I've just been blundering a piece. It's really dumbly. So here I end up playing some of the best moves, and I resign because I just see, you know, I see this, losing the rook, or I see this, just even worse. So I literally saw no way of losing. Like, I calculated this, and I'm like, this just looks terrible. I don't want to play on. Okay. Been resigning, I guess, a lot more. And oh my god, this game was beautiful. 90.6% accuracy. I was like, bro, I'm 1587. Nothing matters anymore. We go into the copycat variation. Everything working exactly as predicted, okay? This knight move is to force the queen backwards. Now here he could counterattack, apparently. I didn't see this actually. I probably would have just moved the queen. I think that's also like a move. And here you do this to protect the bishop, and you could trap the queen soon. He attacks my queen. I just take it. There was some calculation here, and you can see I'm much higher up in time because I've studied it once or twice, the copycat, and I've been wanting to get into one of the positions. And my opponent got me into it. It was so fun. It felt so good, this game. So I take, he takes back, and the problem with that is he has this open area, and my bishop could come in with the check. So I come in with the check. He runs away. I bring my queen here. Ideas of bringing the queen like this. He comes here, check. This is what I saw. Something like, I don't know, let's say some random move here, here, here. And I thought, okay, this is definitely just a win, right? This is checkmate. So I was like, this seems pretty good. He counterattacks, which I saw, but this traps his queen. Takes. Now I have a queen. And I just put my king here so I don't fall for any kind of bishop check tricks. For example, if I take the queen here and he checks me, uh-oh, I just lost my queen, right? And I saw that, so I was like, let me just put my king to the side so it's defended. This pawn stops from any knight checks. I'm Bing chilling, right? I start checking, I start bringing more pieces into the battle, and I don't play the perfect moves here, but I mean, come on, like, all I have to do is not blunder my queen, and I'm winning. And so I, like, break into this position, and before he has time to counterattack here, I come in with a checkmate. Beautiful. This game felt so amazing. I played like a 20-50 because I just knew this opening. I had one mistake and everything else was fine. And this mistake was in a winning position already. They wanted me to bring the rook, I guess, to pile more pressure onto the position and stop the bishop. No, the bishop's already stopped. I guess just to activate more pieces in the attack. So after that game, I started going on this winning streak, I think. My opponent plays the French, which I don't know very well, but I like the tirage. Just because the knight ends up being on b3 sometimes, defending the center pawn, and I kind of like that. But apparently my best move was to take here, and if he takes, then I have... I can develop this knight, protecting the pawn, and the game continues. And I like open positions better than closed positions. I've noticed. I don't like the Caro-Kann, what comes out of Caro-Kann a lot of the time in the advanced Caro-Kann or something. I like the fantasy variation because it kind of makes the opponent, especially as white, makes the opponent kind of go crazy. And then in the French, I don't really like French positions because I don't like everything being locked. I just really don't like it. Feels restricting. So we end up trading a bunch of stuff, develop some stuff to protect this isolated pawn. And here, stupid me didn't realize the blunder, because if he takes my queen, his queen is hanging. It's such a simple idea that I completely missed. That was winning. But okay, at least I'm not the one that made the blunder. I just had a miss, and we trade everything. He keeps attacking me, we trade, and I'm like, trading is good for me. I feel like, you know, my position's a little crazy. We trade a bunch of stuff, I win this pawn, and now I'm like, oh, I'm 100% winning here. He's gonna try to go for some stalemate idea, but he resigns, because there's... I could literally ignore everything he does and just make a queen, and it's me. So, that was that game. Starting to play good. I go with the Pirc Defense, doing all these lines, and I'm like, oh, I'll have a chance to take the bishop. I'll do it later. I don't need to do it now. Computer wants me to take right away, but I eventually take it, and I'm not scared of the rook. I mean, I took out a frickin' bishop. A dark squared bishop, too, so my position feels a little bit better. We end up trading a bunch of stuff, and here I find this sexy move, but I find it one move too late. I'm completely winning. Oh, this feels so good, right? The sexy move I find is this knight move, putting a lot of pressure. The bishop starts coming to life here. There's so much stuff going on. And here I actually missed this idea. This was a move late, a few moves late. But I saw after doing this move, I calculated, oh my god, this pins the bishop. My bishop comes into play, the knight, all this stuff is going on, and it's just beautiful. Instead, I take the free pawn, which is fine too. I kick the knight out of the way, and now I pin the bishop, and he comes out to the opening, which loses to this fork. So I thought even if he like castles or something, I thought this was winning for me, because this obviously gives me the bishop, and if he were to, I think I was calculating lines like this, if he puts the king in the middle, I just thought I'm putting so much pressure on the position that, you know, maybe my knight comes here, maybe the bishop develops. To be honest, maybe I would have lost this game, but my opponent ends up resigning. So I won like 3 games in a row, right? Something like that. I push his bishop out of the way. I start pushing, and again, this is I watched like 5 videos in one day from Robert. He's a national master. He makes chess videos. Amazing. Some of the videos are amazing. I paused because I forgot his last name. Ramirez, maybe? I feel bad. I'm sorry. But he has this idea that if there's a lot of pressure over here, don't castle and counterattack with the pawn and queen, and it worked for him a lot of times. And I was like, oh my god, that's genius. And here I do that exact thing. And it's just a beautiful set of moves. And here I actually saw the move right after I made this move. I was like, oh my god, I had this. This is so beautiful. It's beautiful because I have so many threats. This just attacks everything. Of course, the bishop is here. But if he counterattacks, I have this knight move that it's just like, let's say he does this. I have boom, 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 boom. The queen's coming in. The bishop's staring there. The rook might get in on b8. And my position is fine. And it felt so beautiful. My opponent here, guys, literally timed me out. He waited 8 minutes, 9 seconds on this screen because he didn't want to resign. Oh, so I just won a bunch of games in a row. I'm feeling good. I'm climbing back. Well, okay, maybe I lost a bunch of games too, right? It goes up and down, goes up and down. But you can see the past few games, I come back from 1587 to 1594 to 1601 to 1608. Well, time to lose a game. We go into the Sicilian, we trade a bunch of things, and after this knight move, I realize how bad it is. First of all, it's hard to protect the center pawn. So I was considering f3 at times, but of course queen h4 looks annoying. I don't know if I want to weaken my king. For me, the very annoying thing was this move. I guess I'm not used to people playing this bishop move. And here, taking back with the queen is better. Because I have c3, which is much more natural way of defending. I can castle, everything is fine. I believe that's why. Taking with the knight, now my knight is stuck there, but the position looks really ugly. And, oh, you know, I found this move, which I thought was clever. It develops my queen, protects that pawn, puts pressure on that side. And now we're opposite side castled. And I try to put pressure, but he's just faster. Like, that's the simple case of it. My opponent plays super duper fast, which, of course, always pisses me off. And he's just completely winning. He has this brilliant move, sacking a piece. But you know what? It's actually not all bad for me, and my opponent lets me escape all the way around the whole freaking board. Problem? I have 3 seconds left on the clock. So even though this is a pretty neutral position, well, of course, here I get forked, and I ran out of time. 59% accuracy. Jesus. So we go into the Scandinavian, and I forgot if developing the bishop or knight is better. Well, this basically tells me developing the bishop is better. I think developing the knight, it makes it very hard just for my king to move. And I think developing the bishop, it always has this escape square to get out of this pin. And aside from that, it's giving more protection to this. I can develop the knight normally, and which means I could develop the bishop with some protection from the knight. I could develop the knight attacking the queen. Whatever, the knight is kind of more flexible. So protecting with the bishop seems better to develop the knight normally. Well, now I kind of hopefully will remember that in the future. I kind of go into this position, feeling pretty decent, and here my opponent blunders. My opponent blunders, so he just blunders the queen. And I was thinking, should I take the queen or go for this fork? It doesn't matter. He said he misclicked. I think he messaged me and said he misclicked, so that's unfortunate. But and then this game, my opponent just resigned after a move. Fast review for that one. Here we go into I think it was a French Tarrasch variation, and this is I'm a little more comfortable with, because when they develop their knight, it feels worse to me. I love pushing a knight away. It's just an excuse to take extra space, and his knight had to move twice, so I think it's a good move for me. Here we go into all these book moves, and I didn't know bringing the bishop to d3 was better. I thought I want to put pressure here, but then it helps his queen develop and doesn't really make sense. I guess this is to also castle short quicker. So I end up having to get rid of my bishop. I'm not good in these closed positions. We trade a bunch of stuff, but it's still a pretty close game. It's not the end of the world. Start developing. I have to protect this center pawn. I take the open file. And this entire game, this bishop is a pain in the ass. It prevents me from castling, and I could kind of understand now why bishop d3 made sense. It also stops this move. Because if he ever wins bishop a6, we could just trade if he could protect it or whatever. So I start like moving my pieces around, and I find this beautiful blockade just blocking his access. And I'm like, I don't even need to castle. Let me just develop my pieces like this. I attack the queen. And I'm finally playing well. I feel I came out of this stronger. I came out of this in a better way, but I'm running out of time. I have 44 seconds, and I have no way to kind of push through this position. So finally I figured, and I keep bringing the queen back to stop these check ideas. Finally I figure it out. After trying to trade queens, I finally figure out the method, which is, okay, first of all, he blunders here, but doesn't go for the check. Trading the queens, finally figuring out a way to trade the queens, and I can finally move my pawns forward. I expected him to trade here, so I just pre-moved that, but he didn't do that, and I run out of time. Again, losing from running out of time, but being in a better position, or in a position where I had to think, like, I'm not sad about that. At least I'm thinking I'm playing well. Anyway, the queen here also, I think I lost a lot of time at a certain point just overthinking. Yeah, I spent 2 minutes here because I knew that I had these two passed pawns and that they were amazing, but I didn't see a way of kind of breaking through the position here. Like, I had no idea of how to do it. And here I finally have the chance because the rook defends and nothing else attacks, and that was fine to play faster. But for 2 minutes, I couldn't for the life of me figure out what to do here. Computer says to bring the queen here. I don't really understand it. Like, maybe it's saying, hey, let your opponent kind of think of what to do. Like, what if the queen comes here? Wow. Wow. I don't know if I would see that. I mean, it's pretty easy to see, but whatever, regardless. Next game, we only have 2 left. Don't worry, guys. Or actually, this is the last game. Then we're going to play a game. Again, I go for my Pirc stuff. And I see that he castles, but I want to put pressure on the other side. Maybe I didn't need to, you know. I kick the bishop out. I try to put some pressure, pushing some pawns around. And here he blunders. He blunders because after takes. Well, actually, I thought it was a little later on, but I guess it was then. His position, his knight gets trapped. But this is the really... Maybe it was a different blunder, though. Anyway, this is what was really cool here. After he takes the pawn, instead of taking back, I have this beautiful move, attacking the queen. Because if I get the queen off of this diagonal, this bishop becomes free. So he moves the queen, which allows me to take the pawn, protecting my knight. And I saw these moves. I was so proud of myself. We trade a bunch of stuff, and instead of trading, I'm like, let me develop a knight. It'll protect my bishop. It'll protect my knight. He takes, I take. He pushes this pawn, which weakens his king like crazy. Apparently, taking the pawn here was the best move, which is insane. I did not see that. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this just looks stupid. But at the end of that, you win the rook back, and then you're just winning. But I didn't see that. I take this pawn, and I'm like, oh my god, his knight is trapped. I'm definitely winning this game. This feels amazing. Why did he take here? But okay. Like, my king is still safe somehow. Like, this pawn... Like, sometimes you don't need to move pawns. Look at this. I have this connect 4, like Hikaru says. This game felt so good. I pushed this pawn because I'm so smart. I pushed this pawn because I found this clever move where I knew he was going to bring the bishop here to try to go for some checkmate. And I'm like, let me push the pawn. Come in with this check and just simplify. I'm up a freaking rook. Why do I need to overthink this position? And that's exactly what I do. And even here, I'm like, take my bishop. I don't care because I'm going to get a queen. I saw his best move taking here. He didn't do it for whatever reason. And after this, he resigns because this is just... So, Pirc Defense, actually really fun. Vienna is fun too. But they're fun openings, guys, for those that haven't played it, because they lead to crazy positions, at least at this level, for me. Like, it's just so fun. So yeah, I'm back. I'm feeling good. We're going to play a game now and see how it goes. And, you know, I'm not 17, 1800, but I'm coming back a little bit. So here we have a Sicilian. Opponent is playing super fast. A lot of times that means they were tilted from losing the game before. A lot of times I just develop this here, and then I stop the knight from coming in, because a lot of times, I say a lot of times a lot right now, but a lot of times that's an annoying kind of thing. My bishop, I think I develop it here sometimes, and now I go for this attack. Most of my pieces are developed. I can go for this attack on the king's side. I don't think these are the best moves. Some of them are book moves. A lot of them aren't. But those are kind of the ideas behind those moves. Maybe he didn't expect this bishop d3 move. Maybe it wasn't good. Or maybe after castling, my opponent spends time thinking. The queen also has a lot of diagonals that look annoying to deal with. But actually maybe there's some sort of discovered attack. I'm not sure if that really works. Actually, I have to be careful of that. Okay. So here, this is tempting me to attack his knight or to trade an attack. But if yeah, actually I could take, because I'm threatening to take the queen here. So if I take, he's going to be forced to take back. And I think I could just push this pawn, attacking the knight. The thing is, this isolated pawn will become a target very quickly, I think. So I'm actually going to just start my attack here. Takes. This is well defended. So I could probably even take here. Now, this bishop does come to life because we traded. And to be honest, I said I don't like closed positions, but when there's a fianchettoed bishop, I do like to close it off. I really like this move. because it forces the queen to move. It forces him to take essentially, and then I could take, and we're going into an end game where I'm down a pawn. Maybe that wasn't too smart. Take. That's not good, right? I think this might be my only move. Now, if he takes back, maybe I just push this pawn. No, I'm kind of forced to take it because he's up that knight. Oh, and this pawn is hanging. Never mind. It's not terrible. Now here maybe the smart move is actually taking this. I'm not sure. Probably pretty even position actually. Takes here. I'm just gonna pre-move that. My opponent's overthinking. Maybe he didn't want to trade queens. Castling might still be good for us too here. Still have the bishop pair. Okay, so now he protects this pawn. I mean c3 looks obvious. Is there anything else here though? Our bishop is not protected, so coming here would be terrible in so many ways, but yeah, I think c3 is just an obviously decent move. It also stops any checks from the diagonal, which actually might have been good for my opponent. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna overthink it. Trading queens means castling is gonna be fine, I think. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna trade queens here. Because I don't want to make his position. His position's very annoying right now. He has all of this. I think trading queens kind of makes it easier for me. And it might, feels like the best move in the position. This also stops any attacks. Of course, I can bring the bishop back to g2 also, and my king is actually feels pretty safe. Oh, so this was his plan. This creates a hole to attack the rook, but he could just move it to safety. Takes. Maybe we allow him to take. Weakens this pawn. Maybe we go here and with ideas of coming here. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll just take like developing our rook would be nice too. I'm talking so much. See what happened. Is this from Kimetsu no Yaiba? What's it called? Demon Slayer? Is this character from Demon Slayer? Canadian. 1631 rated. Okay. So here I'm thinking rook d1 if I have the opportunity. If he tries to double rooks, then that could be annoying. But then a7 would hang. So I don't know if it's that great. Am I missing something? Usually when people take a long time, they're like, did my opponent just blunder? Or they're just lost. I'm not sure what it is here. Or are they calculating endgame? They're like, trade, push, takes, and then... Okay. Looks like it's trapping my bishop. My bishop can come here. My bishop can come here. But I think the idea is that he can come to d2, which is annoying. So, we can... I mean, isn't this good? It kind of open, but then it supports... If he pushes, that's probably not good for us. So but then split pawns doesn't look good either. I mean, my idea was to go f3 or f4 anyway, right? So, I mean, f4, I mean, just leads to this trade. That seems fine. Because I still want my bishop to have eyes on stuff, so... Here, what if he closes it off? We could close it off ourselves in return. Let's do that. Let's do that. There's also ideas of taking with the rook. Not really, because the bishop eyes this diagonal. If he does something stupid like this, we could just push the pawn. I don't even know if that's stupid, but that seems stupid. But yeah, I really want to bring my rook here before he tries to double. Something like takes. Okay, I suppose that makes sense. Do we have any tricks ignoring that? It feels like we do, but I don't see any. What if the bishop comes here? He's gonna double the rooks. I could go. I feel like I may have made a mistake. I could go rook e1. Takes. Everything's defended. And I have an open file. Of course, he's gonna double rooks, obviously. But rook e1 also allows us to go bishop f1, attacking his rook. So I kind of like this. Now, of course, there are ideas of this. But then I could just bring the rook up, maybe. Very complicated. If takes, we just take. If takes, we just take. Now I feel like he'll double his rook. He doesn't. He closes off the position. I mean, we could do the same thing, disallowing the bishop from coming in. Another idea is just trying to trade rooks, but then he's definitely going to double up. Attacking the rook feels very good. Because he also blocked off his bishop's access to this diagonal. I don't know if e4 was a good move at all. But, I mean, it opens this. I don't know. What do I know about chess? Okay. If I take, he takes. Maybe he's looking to do this. But, again, doubling up is definitely his goal. But I always have this. I actually want to... I'm tempted to close off this position. I don't want to overthink it. I think this is a pretty even game. Maybe even bishop e2. Just completely stopping any way of getting into our position. And he has two split pawns. So, you know, he has a pawn majority here. Maybe I should have traded to try to break this up. This would kind of make sense to me. This kind of became a passed pawn. I didn't realize, but if this pawn falls, then I'm fine. So, okay, I mean, this looks like the obvious retort. But let's just see if he... Okay, he can't bring his bishop anywhere normal, so we're just gonna come here. If he... This pawn is kind of annoying for him, so he might push this forward at one point, which might allow us bishop b6. No idea what that does, but it looks cool. Maybe he wants the rook to come in like this, attacking our position. I don't think it works. Don't think it works. We're just going to end up trying to trade rooks, probably. And I would guess that this is an even game. Until someone blunders. Any reason to take the other way? I didn't really see it. I'd rather have everything connected here. This is harder to take out for my opponent, it feels like. This looks stupid. King here is met with check. Here, check. Here. I don't know. It doesn't seem good. Wait, can't I force him? Wait, I'm so dumb. Can't I force... Okay, wait. Wait. This looks wrong. This looks very wrong for my opponent. Check. Here. Check. He goes to the corner, and then I just get my king up. to bring in checkmate. Am I crazy? That's literally, that does not work. Of course he can push his pawn, but I think I have to go for this right away too. Unless he's willing to give up a rook. Which I guess he's contemplating. Okay. Yeah, this just looks he could just defend with the bishop. Go here. This just looks too good to not to ignore. The reason I didn't play the bishop first is because then he blocks, and if I play the king, he could trade. So here I could play check, he could block, I could bring the rook, he could take, I could take, he could take. Yeah, so I think I have to play the rook move first. And I think this is just winning completely, no? I don't see a way for him to get out of this. Yeah, this is just mate. Let's go! First game won in the like a 13 loss streak on video for you guys. And beautifully done. Wouldn't you guys say that was beautifully done? Watch there be some counter that I'm completely missing. But no, there's literally no way to counter this. He comes here and yeah, like this. This is just delaying the... wait. Check here, then here. Okay, this is very important. There's a certain move order to this. Let's go. And this is mate. Let's go. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I saw one blunder. Did I blunder? I did blunder. What was my blunder? All right, we're gonna go over that blunder. But I played with 84% accuracy, and that end game, that like way of winning, wasn't that beautiful, guys? Wasn't that worth watching? Oh my god. Okay, so this is all book moves. Okay, they wanted my knight to come into the game. See, I kind of ignored this attack, but I shouldn't have apparently. This was obviously bad, which I saw that. I think I mentioned that I looked at this a little bit, but I think the idea is after trading everything, the bishop comes to life, which is why knight b3 was better to keep the tension. I think this is the idea. Anyway, this is a blunder because after takes, what if I just check? Takes. Oh, he's just up a piece. Wait, what? The pawn taking opened up his queen. So taking like this meant that he had two pieces and I only had one protector. And even though I could take this, this could be easily taken back. But he messed up, taking my knight, which allowed my knight to get out of the attack, and this bishop is much better defended. And now he only has one attacker here. And here, this bishop move was super weird. Yeah, this is literally what I said. This looks a little scary. That's what I was saying. And even c3, it's just like so much pressure here. I thought maybe he could even sack something. But no, it doesn't work because the queen protects the rook. But yeah. So this was my chance. And I knew I had to trade. It was the best move. I knew I had to trade because the fianchettoed bishops and his like safe king was just too scary. And here going for the trade made more sense, so he didn't have time to double up. This made sense. My bishop move was good. My pawn move was not. He was able to get... My rook move was good. My bishop move, hell yeah. I thought that was a clever move. I just never wanted to let him double his rooks. But here I saw a clear path to victory. And I just made all the best moves. Jesus Christ, I am a Jesus. I am a god. For those wondering why taking first doesn't work, doesn't lead to checkmate, is because he has this additional escape score from where the bishop was. So for example, now he can run away. Of course, this doesn't lead to a victory for him. I could just trade and this is winning. You know, this could still be tricky, maybe even, but you know, this just looks crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We're now rated 1626. Say hell yeah in the comments if you watch this far. Look at this. We're back. Well, we only gained like 20 points from our lowest recently, but hey, that's not bad. You know, we're coming back. We're coming back slowly but surely. We're bringing our rating back. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, and see you next time. Bye bye.